There is continued decline in Magic the Gathering singles market. Players frustrated with Wizards of the Coast choices refuse to buy anything related to Magic the Gathering. On this week's Hot 10 video, I show you how low these sales can go. The name of the game at this point is how low can we go? Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here, and thank you once again for hanging out with me on my channel today. A big shout out goes out to all the new subscribers tuning into my channel and hitting that subscribe button, my regular viewers who watch my videos each and every day, and of course my Patreon and YouTube membership supporters. Guys, I couldn't be doing this without you. If sealed products were already slowing down, it's now the singles side of Magic the Gathering that is starting to take a hit. The singles market continues to decline. All the sales across the board are showing a massive slowdown in individual sales on the secondary market from your LGSs, TCG Player. Everywhere is slowing down, and that is going to have direct impacts going forward on what LGSs and those secondary stores like Card Market and TCG Player, eBay, some of those sellers will decide to do. They will start the race to the bottom to try to get business driven back in, to try to get some liquidity pushed back into the market. There's no reserves of cash waiting. They need to do something and do it very quickly and very soon. On today's Hot 10 video, I'll take you through the hottest selling cards in Magic, but you will notice the overall decline in the numbers. If you've followed me for a while here on the channel and you've seen my Hot 10 videos, usually some cards can sell 3,000-4,000 copies at a time, and right now you're seeing extremely low volumes. So we'll take a look at that today. We'll discuss it as we go through the video, and I can't wait to see what players' comments and thoughts are at the end of the video. Let's get this party started. Let's start at number 10. Let's end up at number 1, and let's talk about it. Starting out at number 10 this week from Dominaria United is Leaf Crowned Visionary. With a market price of $3.61 US and a foil price of $5.44 US. Here in Canada, it'll run you about $7.50 Canadian, but look at the low sales volume of only 84 sales this week, October 29th to November 4th. It's an amazing card, but the sales are just not there as things continue to slow down. Now the number 9 card this week is the Sadistic Pilgrim, again from Dominaria United, with 176 sales this week, October 29th to November 4th. With a market price of only 39 cents US, here in Canada I believe it runs for about $1, and it's 28 euro to get this card into your house. This card though does continue to see play and will be an epic addition to most people's deck because it's a cleric, it's legendary, it's low casting cost. Of course it will attract a certain amount of attention, but right now in the current economic climate of Magic the Gathering, this card is not getting a lot of sales. Now the number 8 card this week is the Defiler of Vigor, Dominaria United, with 192 sales this week, October 29th to November 4th. With a market price of $4.18 US, a foil price of $5.46 US, €4.68 to get this card into your house, and around $7.50 here in Canada. This card again is one of those Phyrexian beautiful cards that everyone kind of enjoyed and is seeing play inside of formats like Arena. Players continue to try to evolve this card to see how far it will go and if it has any future breakage uses. Number 7 this week is the Valiant Veteran, 369 sales this week with a market price of less than 50 cents US, and of course it's 27 euro to get this card into your house. Now as a soldier, this guy will continue to see some play, and of course it's his ability to exile Valiant Veteran from your graveyard and put a +1/+1 counter on each soldier you control, which will continue to see his evolution grow because he has dual effects. For a 1 white, 1 generic, having 3 solid effects inside your deck is beautiful, guys. A low casting cost for a 2/2. Other soldiers are getting a +1/+1, and he can be exiled to put more +1/+1 counters. A great card, and he's not even legendary. The number 6 card this week is a Haunted Djinn, Dominaria United yet again. 454 sales this week. A market price, though, of $2.79 US and €1.41 to get this card to your house. Around $3.50 here in Canada. But you can see there it's starting to see a slow uptick, actually. in the actual price, but the sales volume continues to dwindle. This card is seeing some play right now, but the real long-term effects, I don't find this guy's going to carry things too far. The number 5 card this week is Leyline Binding. It has 491 sales this week, and its price is still slowly drifting downward, which means it'll probably settle around the $8-9 mark in the next several months. But when you take a look at the binding, people are still continuing to use it because of its flash ability and domain. It is still not my favorite card to get out there for the mana cost. I can see why some players are enjoying it. It just doesn't hold that kind of thrill for me in any of the decks I'm using. Now the number 4 card this week, that is Tear Asunder. Dominaria United, 640 sales, so it has considerable sales volume compared to the past. It's less than $1 US. The foil has a little bit of value, and it's only 50 cents euro to get this card into your house. But when you take a look at the card, remember, if you pay that kicker, it is kind of nice. Okay, so in a green-black, this is going to have a little bit of fun to it. This card actually had late sales volumes, which kind of kicked it up, which means somebody decided to buy a whole bunch right near the end of the week. Now the number 3 card this week, Braid's Arisen Nightmare. People are still using this card all the time. I myself am using it in several decks with Sheoldred to try to mess people up. The market price is $1.77, so that's down from last week. The foil price is $2.61 US. It's €1.94 to get this card into your house. It's around $3 here in Canada. And when you take a look at the card, you understand it's going to have a lot of uses going forward in Commander and other formats. But again, the volume of sales is just nowhere near what it's been in the past. And for those who are new to the channel, you can take a look at some older videos and see those sales quantities. And you kind of get an idea that this is just not the norm for what we've been counting along the channel for a long time. Number 2 is Tolarian Terror, 823 sales this week, October 29th to November 4th. The foil, though, is interesting at $2.50 because the market value is less than 50 cents US. It's very low. And again, another card from Dominaria United just ripping up the board again. Here in Canada, it's like a $1 card. Nothing really fancy. Again, I see this card in conjunction with the Haunted Djinn. People using these things all the time. They like the ward. They like to jump this thing out with the Djinn, with the Tolarian, and try to just overwhelm you as quick as possible. Just be ready for it, and it's actually pretty easy to handle as long as you don't have any counter spells you have to deal with. Now, the number 1 card this week, which is interesting, is back on top is Relic of Legends. 1,294 sales. Pretty good for this card. And this is because with Brothers War coming out and all these new legendary creatures, having your legends tap for mana is going to help you get more things going. And this is where a lot of the color wheel is going to come in. So having the card come out is one thing. Being able to tap small or weak creatures you're not going to use to defend or block or attack with can really pump up the mana pool. People are starting to really buy into this card, and the sales volumes continue to stay strong. I'll be interested to see how this thing fares after Brothers War out, and after it comes out, people get to try out their little, trial and error decks to see if they can really make this card bust out of its frame. It is an uncommon though, so it's never going to be a super expensive card. Now, when we're talking about these volumes of sales, for anyone who's been on my channel for a while, you can see the sales are much lower than they've been in the past, and that's just lack of business. There's not as many people buying the cards right now. There's no major influxes of cash coming into the marketplace, and there's lots of reasons for that. And we'll be watching this unfold probably for months and months before we see how Hasbro handles it, how LGS's distributors, secondary markets like Card Market, TCG Player, we'll see how they handle it going forward. Now, if you happen to buy any cards here, though, off of TCG Player for any reason, please remember to use my affiliate link. You can find it in the description of my videos. Just click on the link. It takes you right there to TCG Player. If you're one of those people who happens to be buying cards. I know I still am, but I'm doing it in a much more limited fashion right now as I'm picking up cards I really desire from the reserve list right now. So thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. Thanks for being here. And if you're one of the new subscribers, hey, thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. Looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Have an awesome day today. Hi everyone, big shout out to all those fantastic patrons out there helping the Moxman out. Without their support, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing. Thanks again, everyone. Those sales volumes are very low. Right, guys? Can you believe it? If you followed my channel for a while, you know what I'm talking about. Thanks for being here at the end of the video and chilling with the Moxman. I know for myself, I'm only buying certain cards right now. I'm being very particular, and most of them are reserve list cards to get working on my Arabian Nights collection as I get cash. So I can see why players are doing it this way. I can see why people are kind of shunning and dropping stuff and not buying things right now. It's like a hold and wait pattern, and let's hope Wizards can fix this. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys for the weekend here, right? Sunday, don't forget, we have the Reserve List Hot 10. Interesting. And then, of course, I'll see you guys Monday and the live stream. Can't wait to see you guys there. 6:30 Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. All right, guys, have an awesome day. We'll see you soon. Because you're here. You're at the end. You're hanging out with me. Have some nachos and cheese.